please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Very good morning. Welcome to Chartbusters, the show we're going to highlight all the buzzing stocks of the day, also give you some expert advice on how you can capitalize and trade. All that and more in the next half hour. I'm Nigel D'Souza, and with me is Mangalam Malu. Hey Mangalam, we're taking a bit of a break today. The Nifty is as flat as can be. A couple of heavyweights under pressure, but it should be interesting times because we've had a good run. We're seeing some mild profit booking today. The mid cap and the small cap space, they were underperforming in the last 2 days. Today as well, no different.
Absolutely, no different today as well. But what is actually interesting is the IT stocks. The Nifty IT index should come up for you. That one's trading at the high point of the day. All the IT stocks, the frontline IT stocks are buzzing. Infosys 2 itself is at the high point of the day. And that's interesting given the dollar index itself is at a 3-year low. So that's kind of counterintuitive. So let's see how it goes going forward. Has it bottomed out? Are people seeing value in IT or not is the big question. But IT stocks doing fairly well.
Absolutely, Mangalam. I perfectly take your point because even look at the rupee. We have moved from around that 67, 68 odd mark, 66 rupees to around 63.50 odd. So the rupee as well is not moving favorably, but the IT index is moving very, very well. All Infosys, TCS, we have all these stocks that are moving higher. One would have thought, well, TCS did a buyback at around 2,800, so that would be the ceiling. But guess what? I remember last year TCS went down all the way to around 2,200. From there, in fact, it's given you close to around what, 25 to around 30%. Infosys, 860 in August 2017. That stock as well from trading at around 12.5 times. Now it's trading at more than 16 times, and still it is at a discount of around 20% to TCS. But that stock is moving along as well. You could say, well, 1% growth in terms of revenue growth, constant currency growth. That's not very, very impressive. But clearly, something's happening out here, and that's why, in fact, this IT index, when the Nifty is as flat as can be, that's giving you money.
And that's just the frontliners. Take a look at the mid caps. You have KPIT, you have NIIT Tech, Tata Elxsi. All of them have gained anywhere between 15 to 20% this month itself. So that is something that we'll keep an eye out on. But first up, all the top stories that we're tracking at this point in time. Within the first year of its listing, BSE announces a buyback at 1,100 rupees per share. Management tells CNBC TV18 that it's not a tender buyback, but a market buyback, on the back of which the stock down almost 4%.
And Delta Corp delivers a very strong set of numbers in the third quarter. The profitability jumps up nearly around 5-fold. Domestic brokerage, MK, they expect the company's earnings to double in the next 2 years. Hence, they're giving a buy call with a target price of 411 rupees per share.
Federal Bank tanks over 6% on the back of an operationally weak third quarter. Gross and net slippages, the highest in the last 5 quarters.
And Zealand trades in the green on the back of a strong quarterly performance. The revenue as well as the profitability jump up by 70% in quarter 3.
Now, a day after GNFC hiked TDI prices by 8%, the company shuts its Dahej plant on reports of a suspected gas leak. The stock tanks 4% in trade.
Okay, all right. Keep an eye out on the screen. Actually, some of those mid-cap stocks, they are taking a harder hit. The mid-cap index, by the way, is down close to under 100 points. We have Equitas that's come in for some selling pressure. Adani Enterprises as well. If you pull up the intraday chart, you'll see that stock as well moves to the low point of the day. And the smoke seems to be put off for Godfrey Phillips, at least as we speak. Stock was holding in the green. I remember when we started off trade, well, it's moved into the red. So it's taken a sharp knock from the high point of the day. Keep an eye out on that counter as well. But how do you trade the Nifty? Well, we have Ashwini Gujral who joins in. Hi, Ashwini. A more or less flattish start. We're trading mildly in the red as we speak. Is this a buying opportunity or you're not very impressed with the opening today?
See, let's talk about IT first. I don't think, 50 paisa or 1 rupee move on the rupee is moving these stocks like this.
Yes.
I think the market is trying to price in that maybe in 3 years they've learned digital and, all those different technologies, etc. And they are beginning to get increasing revenue from those areas. Because otherwise stocks don't cross, previous highs. Indices don't move, 2-3%. For nothing. The way, mid-cap stocks are moving, and we have some amount of talent in IT. So maybe we have learned in 3 years. The information I have from, Amazon, AWS, etc., is that they have been training people from these companies. So I would think it's more a business reason than any other reason, plus under ownership. Nobody has those stocks. So that way, maybe some amount of action is moving here. I would be long on several mid-cap IT stocks. Having said that, I don't think Nifty is doing a whole lot. Declines are 1200, advances are 426. So that's very poor shape. Mid-cap index is also falling. So I think yesterday's expansion is on pretty shaky legs here. And yesterday, like I said in the morning, it was 3 large banking stocks, and they basically took the market higher. Today, that support seems to be missing. IT is doing its bit, but I don't think it'll be able to protect the mid caps or the Nifty in general. That way, more shorts. So BPCL is a sell with a stop of 481, target of 460. Jet Airways is a sell with a stop of 820, target of 785. And Ajanta Pharma is a buy with a stop of 1520, target of 1575.
Right, Ashwini. As you speak, a lot of the mid-cap stocks, they are taking it on the chin and are at the low point of the day. Something like an Equitas should come up for you, 4% of the high point of the day. Currently at the lower point of today's trading session. Take a look at something like an HCC. That one too has moved to the low point of the day. Adani Group stocks taking it on the chin. You have Adani Enterprises, Adani Power, and Reliance Power 2 actually has moved to the low point of the day. You spoke about Godfrey Phillips, but when the big boy stubs his cigarette, Godfrey Phillips has to go down, pull up ITC. That one too is at the low point of the day. Interesting, because they report their results on 19th of this month. Ashwini, any other short ideas in the financial space? Equitas is at the low point of the day, and even the Adani Group stocks, Adani Enterprises has moved to the low point of the day.
See, Capital First, which rallied, because of that news, that's come off another 4%.
Right.
So definitely there's a problem there. And in general, NBFCs, etc., all of them are coming under pressure. If, crude continues above 70, I think the market is taking cognizance of that. Finally, it should have done that yesterday. But yesterday there was some, specific news. But overall, PSU banks, if you see State Bank, OBC, PNB, etc., all of them have started falling. I think Federal Bank will probably close at the lows of the day, so that'll probably help the Bank Nifty on the downside.
All right, we will watch out for that. The Nifty Bank below that 26,000 mark. Just keep an eye out on that. Remember, yesterday it did cross the 26,000 mark and was at a record high. But one stock in focus is Bombay Stock Exchange. In focus after getting an approval for a share buyback of 166 crore rupees. Earlier this morning, we spoke with Ashish Chauhan, the CEO of BSE, and he clarified that it is a market buyback and not a tender buyback, something perhaps the street doesn't like, and the stock at the low point of the day. Let's hear what he had to say.
See, basically, we have kept the price at 1100 rupees. And so 1100 is the maximum at which you can buy. Below that, whatever is sort of available, we'll continue to buy. The scheme is supposed to be open for 6 months as per the regulations. Before that, if we exhaust 166 crore, then it gets over then. And so that's basically the contours of the scheme.
All right, we'll watch out for all those stocks, but pull up JP Associates. That one has slipped to the low point of the day. And remember earlier, JP Infra 2 had taken a bit of a pummeling, and now JP Associates at the low point of the day.